Danny Rohl gets it wrong with resting new signings for Rangers vs Hearts. Rangers need new plan to get money back on Youssef can't finish Meaty as final bridge burned. Subscribe now. We are building a 500-strong proper Bears crowd in here. No nonsense, no spin. The Scottish media are already sharpening the knives, turning one draw into a crisis. Hearts come into this sitting top, 5 points ahead of Rangers with 12 games left. They have been talking it up like some fairy tale, like it is their divine right to be the first lot outside the usual two to win it, since Aberdeen in 1984 to 1985, and Hearts have not won the league since 1959 to 1960. That is the scale of what they are hanging on this match. They arrive after a big Edinburgh derby win against Hibs, with Tomas Magnuson scoring late. Fine, let them enjoy their wee moment. This is Ibrox, different pressure, different noise, different standards. Rangers, though, have dragged themselves right back into it since Danny Rohl came in October. That is not opinion, that is fact. But the midweek draw at Motherwell gave the usual suspects their headline. Rangers went one up early through Nico Raskin. Motherwell had a man sent off late, and still Rangers did not kill it. Stephen Welsh, on loan from the other lot, pops up with an equalizer, and suddenly every columnist thinks they have found blood. And then comes the finger pointing. Ryan Naderi scored twice on his Ibrox debut days earlier, yet Youssef Chermiti starts at Fir Park. Andreas Skov Olsen and Tor Rummens have looked like they can play, yet they sit on the bench. Rohl then suggests he had rested them with Sunday in mind, and the Scottish Mail has Gary Keown calling it a head-scratcher, accusing him of underestimating Motherwell. That is how quick it turns up here. One choice, one draw, and they are questioning the manager. Disgraceful, absolute shambles of a narrative. But here is the reality Rangers fans understand. Titles are not won by press conferences. They are won by putting teams away at Ibrox when the pressure is at boiling point. Rohl has taken the squad from the bottom half into a title fight in months. That does not happen by accident. So the stakes are simple. Win, and the noise dies. Anything else, and Hearts can pull 8 points clear by the end of the day. And you know exactly what the radio phone-ins will say. That this was the week it fell apart. That is the trap. This is where the Rangers way is supposed to show up. Not in the talking, in the response. Are we going to let the headlines write our season? Or are we going to remind everyone what Ibrox does to league leaders? Disgraceful. 8 million quid, a striker's shirt, and we are still sitting here talking about plans to get the money back. Like he is a faulty washing machine from the catalogue. Here's the raw truth about Youssef Chermiti. Rangers paid £8 million to Everton in September, with add-ons that could take it higher. And what have we had? A handful of moments, a mountain of frustration, and a fan base that has seen this film before. You do not get patience at Ibrox when you are missing sitters and jogging about like you are doing us a favor. Yes, he scored 2 in the derby on 3rd January. That bought him a short grace period, nothing more. Then comes Motherwell. 1-on-1. Game should be dead and buried. He fluffs it, Rangers drop points, and suddenly the whole stadium knows what the papers are going to do next. They will pretend this is a Rangers crisis, rather than admitting the recruitment has been a gamble that is not paying off. And now the latest line being pushed is that the final bridge has been burned, that Danny Rohl cannot start him against Hearts, that he's already looking at the door. Gary Keown in the Scottish Mail is basically saying it is the final straw, that starting him is no longer an option, and that Rangers should have punted him out on loan in January to try and build a shop window. And then you hear this. Fenerbahce reportedly bid £3 million in late January, and Rangers rejected it straight away. $13 million. For a striker who has not exactly been ripping up trees. If that is true, it is either absolute confidence from inside the club or absolute stubbornness. Because when a bid like that lands for a player the support is not convinced by, you at least pick up the phone and have a serious conversation. Look at the track record being thrown around. 6 goals in 17 for Sporting B and Sporting under 19. 3 in 22 for Sporting's first team. Then not a single goal in 24 appearances for Everton. That is not the profile of a guaranteed Ibrox hit. That is a development project. And Rangers are not a nursery. So what is the new plan then, if the loan ship has sailed and the bid was knocked back? Because Rangers cannot keep forcing him into the starting lineup, hoping it suddenly clicks. That is not the Rangers way. That is denial. And here is the obvious answer staring everyone in the face. Ryan Naderi has to start against Hearts. Rangers agreed £5.2 million for him from Hansa Rostock on deadline day. He came in, impressed, in that 8-0 hammering of Queen's Park. Then he is dropped at Motherwell. Absolute masterstroke, that one. Hand the momentum to the opposition and hand the headlines to the usual suspects. Naderi gives you a presence. He gives you an aerial threat. He gives you something to aim at when Hearts sit in and make it ugly. Crosses, set pieces, second balls, proper Ibrox football when it matters. So let us be honest. Are Rangers going to protect a fee and a reputation, Or are Rangers going to pick the striker who gives them the best chance of beating the league leaders at Ibrox? If you have made it to the end, do me a favor. Subscribe now and help me hit the 500 subscribers target.